Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Moifo, and I'm welcoming you to this series of my recording, guys. What's up? This is your boy, and feel free, let's go through this together. In this video, guys, I am going to be talking about uh, being able to create a safe database. All right, and this is a cool step. This is very simple, and you can see the tricks that we used, that I used in this, that I will be using in this video, guys. And it's really cool, and we can go through it. If you have passion in building front end and back end and securing your back end, and just like that, guys. So we are going to go through this video, and let me explain a little bit about what you are seeing right now. Right before your eyes are two separate folders. Okay, one folder contains our back end files, and the other folder contains our front end file. All right, and we are going to create, like for example, you are seeing here, and first have right here. So one file contains our back end, one folder contains our back end, and the other folder contains our front end. All right, and there is a relationship between these two folders, or between these two files. All right, so we split the database, and we send the front end to another folder and make a relationship to the other folder. So you have like sending data from the front end, and it's going through that medium all the way to the file in the back end, which is really cool, guys. And the reason for this is because if someone mistakenly delete your database, access to your back end is still secure. All right, so it's really necessary so you can get the data from, you know, from the back end. But if you have all of the files in just one ransom, then it's gonna be a little bit of a problem for you, because if someone delete your database, of course all of your files are going to be deleted. So let's go ahead with this, but there are some things we need to understand when it comes to securing our back end, and we're gonna talk about these things in just a few moment. We're gonna learn about them. So in securing your back end, you need to take into consideration having a password, and to do this in Access is really easy to be done. But the reason is because anybody can have access to your drive C. All right, because we're going to be saving all of our files into our drive C, and no one just goes to the drive. Even if you have someone on your computer, that person doesn't know about drive C, and not many people visit that drive. So it is a very good example. It is advisable that you save your files and your folders in your drive C. All right, so and not just saving your folder, but encrypting your file. So we're going to be teaching you, we're going to be walking through that too, how to encrypt your back end, so to protect unauthorized access. So it's really cool. So all you need to do is to create a password to the back end of your database, and it's going to be great. And for your front end, what you need to do is to secure your forms. All right, and it's really cool. If you do not know how to secure your forms, anybody who is knowledgeable in Access can get to your back end, can manipulate your form. All right, so you need to learn how to disable shortcut, that give access to your back end. So we're going to talk about that too. And lastly, we're going to create shortcut. We're going to create a shortcut to the desktop so that if that shortcut file gets deleted, what happens? Your actual file is still safe. You can go back to your actual file and paste or shortcut of that actual file to your desktop and work with it. It's fine. So guys, with no delay, let's move quickly to our to the tutorial, guys. So we will let's get here, and we are going to be creating all of our files right in here in the drive C. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to create the folder, and okay, so guys, I'm going to create a folder quickly in drive C, and the name of this folder is, let's go ahead and create the folder quickly, and the name of the folder is GSA Road Church. I can just say COC Youth Department Membership. Oh my god. Chief and Financial FRMNCI Financial Management System. Okay, so I already have this. It already contains a folder like that, so I can say yes. Let's go ahead. I already have the folder, but I'm going to do this folder because I don't want it here. So let's go ahead and delete this folder. Okay, so let's create the folder quickly. We'll say G as a road, COC, Youth Department Membership and Financial Management System. Alright, so we go right ahead and copy our file in this folder. Alright, I already have the file and the file we're going to be dealing with. So I have this file on my pen drive, so I'm going to copy this file. I'm going to copy the file right to that folder I have created. So let's go ahead, go to drive C, and this is the folder and this is the file, and I'm going to copy this file to drive C and GS0 Church of Christ, and I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, paste it right here. We have a copy of it right here. So this is the file, and the first thing we are going to do, we are going to open this file and split our database. It's very cool, right? So we create the file, we open the file and split the database first. So let's go ahead and open this file rather, and okay, so we will split. We'll close this, so we still have access to the shortcut menu, so it's not going to be like that. All right, and we will split the database first. So let's go ahead and split database. You go to database tools. From database tools you come to access database. So click access database, and the next thing you want to do is split database. Make sure you click this split database, and you go to where you want to create the back end. So what we are doing here is we are now creating the back end where we're going to have all of our tables, you know. So access is going to send all of the tables to the back end, and the forms and the queries leave to the front end. So let's go ahead. We've already created a folder in drive C. Remember, all of your operation will be done in drive C. So let's go ahead and create a folder within the folder I created on the drive C. So we create a folder called data center, data CENTF. So this is the data center. This is just being creative. You can change the name to anything you like, but data center simply is this is where all of our data is going to be saved. So this folder will contain the back end, right? So let's go ahead and and create and split the database right in there, right in the folder. So we've already created a folder called data center in GS0 in the GS0 folder. So the next thing we want to do now, you receive an alert saying database successfully split. So we should expect to have a file in that data center folder. So let's go ahead, guys, close this, and now we have data center. Okay, open data center, and here you have the file. And the next thing you want to do, which is really great, is encrypt your back end. So we're going to we are going to encrypt our back end. Why? Because we want to prevent unauthorized access. So let's go ahead and create our password. So to do that, what we want to do is you are not directly going to open the back end. You are going to create, open it in your search term, and you're going to search for access. Okay, and here I have access 2016 running on my computer. So I'm going to open this, and I'm not going to create a blank database, neither am I going to open any of these recent files. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open all the files. So just go ahead and click here, open all the files, and the file you want to open is that backend file. All right, so you are not going to open the front end, you are going to open the back end, because it is on the back end you want to create a password. You want to encrypt the back end. So what we do is we browse and we go to where we have the back end. So on drive C in this folder, and data center, and right here, this is the folder we want to create. We want to encrypt. So what we do is we already have the folder. We've already selected the file. So what we do is we open. There is a little drop down right here, so click here, and you should see open read only, open exclusive, and open exclusive read only. So we want to open this exclusive, so click open exclusive, and it's going to open to allow you to be able to encrypt your database. This is really important. If you don't open this exclusive, it's not going to create it. It's not going to create the password for you. So you go ahead with the file and come to encrypt with password. Click, and I'm just going to encrypt this. I'm going to encrypt this quickly. So verify again. Okay, and I click OK, and let's see, it encrypts that. Say encrypting is a block chipper, and we want to tell you stuff like that. So just go ahead and click OK. The encryption is done, and to verify that your file is being encrypted, all you need to do is close this, and now reopen this file, and you should be prompted to provide a password. Okay, so we say cancel, we don't want to encrypt now, so we close this. We just want to verify that we have our password encrypted, our file encrypted rather. So the next thing we want to do is we've already encrypted the backend, and we go back here, and the coolest thing I believe is sometimes, or after creating the database, it is possible that you forget the password. All right, so it will be just fine if you go to the file, all right, to the backend file, for example, and maybe you can right in here, you can or maybe you create it in data center, or you can just create it right in here. So you go create or text file. This is going to be text document. Create a file and call it password, or you say pwd. So you are going to insert the password you created for the back end. So you say password and the password you created for the back end, which is really cool. So what you do is we say okay, so we save this. This is the password I created for the back end, and you already have this. And what you do is you can hide this or what have you. If you want to hide it, fine. If you don't want to hide it, fine. And the next thing we want to do is we want to change the icon of this folder. It makes it look much like what we created. Like for example, we want to make it look like the we want to make it look like this. We want to make it look like this right here. So what we do is we go back to the folder and right click on this folder, go to property, and you go to customize. Okay, customize, use the customize tab and click on change icon. And what you want to do is go to the particular icon you want to change that to, and I'm going to use this icon. Click OK, apply, and say OK again, and refresh. When you refresh, you should have the file like this. So it looks like we have it's like a disk. So we are writing our files, we are writing information to that disk. We are sending data to that disk. And the other thing you want to do is to you want to call back those data. So let's go ahead and open our front end, and you've already created a link, but remember, in your first, when you split the database, at the time you split the database, the files were not encrypted. So if you come here, you have these files here, but these tables are not encrypted. You split the database at the time you have not encrypted the table. So what you need to do, select all of these tables, just select them like this and delete them all. Okay, so delete all of the tables. So you go back right here, go to external data right here, and you have access right here. So import access tables. So you say okay, we want to import tables. So we have two options here in the wizard. The first says import tables, queries, forms, reports, macros, and modules into the current database. No, we don't want this. We want to create a link. Right, we already have the tables. We do not want to call these tables back into the database. So if you do this, if you follow this first option, it's going to be like calling those tables back, not linking to them. So the second option is what we want to use, where we will link to the table. So click the second option and go to browse to go to the back end. So you're going right to the back end, drive C, and right here, and the data center, open it, and this is the back end, and say okay, and say okay, and then you'll be prompted to provide the password that you provided while encrypting that file. So we say we're going to provide that right now. So now we select all of the tables in that database and say okay. So it's going to import all of the tables, import all of them successfully. So now you have it being linked. Okay, so we are there, right? And what do we have? We have the table already linked, and see, if you hover over this, you have the link in the directory. This is the directory of the file. So we have the backend. The next thing we want to do is close this all together and create a shortcut, because we want to make sure all these files are saved. So we will first of all create a shortcut, and you are going to create a shortcut for the front end, not the back end. So we go ahead, click this, copy this, and what you want to do here is you can just click on all of these files, right click, go to property, and we should have heading. So apply heading to this file. Changes to selected items and subfolders, no problem. Changes to selected items only. So we can apply changes to selected items only if we want to do that. It's no big deal. So we go ahead, click, and we apply. So the folder looks like it is empty, but it is hidden. All right. So we have already copied the front end, and we can close this, and we can close this as well, and go ahead and come to the desktop and paste the shortcut, not paste but paste shortcut. So we'll paste the shortcut, is being linked directly to the front end. So what we want to do is change the icon for this shortcut, and we come to change icon, and it can be something like this. All right, it's gonna look like a program you install. Yeah, okay. So if you look here, see the icon being changed. I can medium icon, so you see fine. So this is it. It looks like a program has been installed on your system. So what we want to do is we want to open this. This file is linked. This file is linked. All right. And we go to shortcut, and we want to secure our front end by disabling our shortcut menu. So we don't want to have access, to the back end. So what we need to do is close this and go to file. Okay, and go to file and come to options and click current database and scroll right down here, and you want to disable navigation pane. Make sure the navigation pane doesn't display, and you want to uncheck these two menus, these two options rather. It says allow full menu, say no. Allow default shortcut menu, you say no. So we say okay, and it gives you this, you must close and reopen. So we need to close this and reopen for our changes to take effect. So we reopen, and now we should have, okay, right click, and we can have access to the backend. And I want to show you how this works, how our back end and our front end is linked. Remember, the back end is in another folder, okay, and we've already done all of the works. We've already created back end, encrypted the back end, linked the back end to the front end again, and what have you. So we want to do something that's really cool. Okay, for General Secretary, we have a password called, we have a username called admin, and a password also called admin. All right, so if you click OK, it's going to welcome you to the system, and you have access to the dashboard. Okay, so what I want to do is, remember the password is admin, the username is admin for the General Secretary, and the password is admin, and we can log out and check this out in the back end to see if this is right. So we close this and we shut down, right, and go to our back end. Remember, the back end is all the way in our C drive right here, and we can we can go to view and see, click heading and heading items, and it's going to display them, and you can access this and access this to the back end and provide the password quickly. Let's go ahead, see, provide the password. Oh no, I missed it. Hey. Okay, now we have access, and this is one of the users here. This is the first user for, yeah. So no, this is the general, we close this. This is for the financial secretary. This is for the general secretary. So we have admin as the username right here, and we have admin for the password. So we are going to change that back to the front end and see if it's going to change here. So let's go ahead and close this and go to our front end. Close this, go to the desktop and change the password for the general secretary. So we see we should have this access stuff prompting us to general secretary. I'll say close this, so wait for that. So we say admin, we haven't changed it yet, admin, to have access to our dashboard. So now let's go ahead and we're going to change our username first. We're going to change it to let's provide password, admin, then we change our username to this thing from Moifo Java, J-A-L-A-H. Change it, let's change, and let's log in quickly and change the password too. To change the password, go to password change, and we say the old password is admin and the new password should be 1602. And now we have changed our username and password. Remember, the username is mjala and the password is 1602. So let's see if that is also changed in the back end. So let's go quickly to the back end, and right here, drive C and click this and enter our back end, provide password quickly. Okay, and come to user, we should have, close this. Come to user, we should have mjala and 1602. So now we see that our back end and our front end are linked accordingly. So you don't need to worry if someone deletes your back end, not your back end, sorry. If someone deletes your shortcut menu, you know where to get your full file. So you can come right here to front end, copy this and paste our shortcut to the desktop. So let's go ahead and have our files, just uncheck hidden items, and it's going to be hidden again, and close this. So guys, thank you for watching, and I look forward to your constructive criticism, guys.